There, Patrick Durkin here with the Durkin Group at ERA Brokers Consolidated, and we are back in the swing of things here for our Quick Tip Tuesday video series, bringing you helpful tips to navigate through the real estate market, especially in today's market. And we are going to be talking about how to successfully overcome the most difficult part in the selling process, and that is the repair negotiations. Before we get into that, we're going to give you a quick update on what's happening with Las Vegas housing market stats. Contrary to popular belief, values are not tanking due to our economic downturn. In fact, prices have not budged throughout the entire pandemic. Here in Las Vegas, we are at about 3 months worth of available homes for sale. We call that the inventory. We are teetering more on a seller's market. We went into the downturn with a low inventory number, and we're coming out of one. So not much changed. In fact, I was out this past weekend with some buyer clients of mine. There are lines of people out the door waiting to get into homes next. Cheryl Durkin of the Durkin Group went to a new build home site this past weekend and said the same thing. They are lines of people out in the new build home sites as well. So real estate is picking up for activity. Never slowed down as far as prices. It did slow down as far as buyer and seller activity. But all that to say, we are bringing you some helpful tips to overcome the most difficult process in the selling process here. And that is negotiating the repair request when you accept an offer from a buyer and they do their inspections, and then they give you a laundry list or a rap sheet worth of stuff that is wrong with your home. And I know you have the best looking home in all of Las Vegas and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't believe you. You know when you take your car to a dealership or you take your car to get fixed, for an oil change, and then you go to pay for it and the mechanic gives you the inspection report. Kind of similar. Nothing's really wrong with your car because you're able to drive it, but all the stuff that you really didn't know because you don't get under your car on a regular basis and check timing belts and so on and so forth. So that is very similar to real estate. So let me walk you through quickly what happens here and what we see often. In fact, I'm going to give you a perfect example. I was talking with an agent in my office just yesterday. I was walking out and they were telling me about a situation they had where they represented a seller. It was about a $500,000 property. They accepted an offer from a buyer, went under contract. Buyer did the the inspections, and found quite a bit wrong with the home. And they could not have a meeting of the minds. Buyer and seller just could not have a meeting of the minds. Brokers could not negotiate successfully to keep the deal alive. Seller was just not having it. They were not going to fix anything. So what happens then? You go back on the market and you try to find a new buyer that's going to do another inspection report and find the same things wrong with the home that the first buyer did. Anyways, at the end of the day, the story was that home was listed originally for sale for about $500,000, and that was about 4.5 months ago. They didn't pick up a new buyer until about 3 months after the first buyer backed out because of the sellers not willing to make any repairs. At the end of the day, the home closed for $30,000 less than $500,000, the asking price, because they sat on the market for 5.5 months. All to say that the first buyer, their repair request was maybe $2,500, $3,000 worth of repairs. So $3,000 worth of repairs, $30,000 less than sales price because you're sitting on the market for longer. We see this happen all too often. So how do we overcome this? As a seller, I would highly recommend, number one, first and foremost, and the most important, be willing to make repairs on your home that are defects. Any buyer is going to do an inspection report and hire an inspector. Inspectors are hired to find things wrong with your home. And so one way to overcome this, or at least minimize the rap sheet that you may get from a buyer that they want everything fixed, is do a pre-listing inspection. If you hire the Durkins, We sell properties on average for about 98.7% of asking price, if not higher. So you're not going to have a problem getting your price when you hire the Durkins. However, it may make for a much easier process if you hire a pre-listing inspector to do a pre-listing inspection. That way you know everything that's wrong, just the same as you would if you took your car for an oil change and the mechanic found a whole bunch of stuff wrong with your car that you had no idea that was wrong. You go ahead and make the repairs, you save your invoices, you furnish all that and tell the new buyer so it's a clean bill of health. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, here's what was wrong in my inspection report. Here are the things that I fixed. Here are the invoices. Easy peasy. Another way is to maintain your home warranty if you have one. If you don't have one, consider getting a home warranty. That way, when the buyer hits you with the laundry list of repairs, you can minimize your cost in hiring your home protection plan to take care of some of those items. So we hope this has been helpful to you. Again, some quick stats in the market. Not much has changed. It is a lot of activity going on. There's about 800 new listings a week. 600 of those are being sold, and believe it or not, over 1,000 are going under contract. How on earth can it be a good time to buy and a good time to sell at the same time, Patrick? That doesn't make sense. Sure it does. We have low inventory if you're a seller. So homes are getting back to that point where they are flying off the shelf. We are experiencing multiple offer situations. I ran into that myself representing buyers this past weekend. Wrote an offer Saturday night. They got another one on Sunday morning from a different buyer. How could it be a good time to buy? I don't think I'll ever see interest rates as low as they are in my entire lifetime. Rates are incredibly low. Affordability is very much so attainable. And in addition to that, you do have the luxury of going and seeing some of the new build homes as well. Keep in mind, if you are interested in buying a new build home, talk with the Durkins first. We cannot, I repeat, we cannot help you negotiate the best deal possible, get you the best price if you walk into the new build sites alone, not with the Durkins. We are cut out of the deal. So if you want to go look at new build homes, contact us, text us, email us, 702-780-1510. We'll be happy to show you them as well. Again, if you'd like some references for home inspectors or home warranty companies, please give us a call, text, or email. We'd be happy to refer some reputable companies that we have had our clients give us good feedback on. So hope you and your family are well, safe, and stay cool out there as we're getting close to our summer months here in Las Vegas. See ya.